With the Russian invasion not progressing as hoped, the British Prime Minister believes the attacks will intensify as a result. Johnson speaks of the complete destruction of European cities. And of course, he still rejects a no-fly zone. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson expects the Russian armed forces in Ukraine to be even more aggressive in the future. The Russian head of state Vladimir Putin will hitch even harder now because he sees no way out of the impasse other than the destruction, the rubble, and the ash of innocent European cities. Johnson told this to the German newspaper Welt am Sonntag, and I reported on this, but this is an important topic. The head of government assumes that Putin will fail in the end. The miscalculation of how the Ukrainians would react makes it impossible for him to turn this hideous adventure into a practical success for him, Johnson said. And he also ruled out the imposition of a no-fly zone over Ukraine, and that's the only one where I'm usually agreeing with Johnson. The consequences would be that Russian planes are shot down, and that gets us caught up in the logic of confrontation and de facto a third world war. In view of the Russian attack on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, the British head of government called for international authorities to secure Ukrainian power plants. A system to protect these facilities where radioactivity levels are monitored by international agencies such as the UN and IAEA is extremely important. And Russia must be made to cooperate on this point, Johnson said. And Johnson emphasized that Russia's invasion of Ukraine now shows the unity of the European Union and the United Kingdom. All crises reflect the true state of a relationship, he says. Sometimes families go through trauma that suddenly brings back the true strength and affection of the relationship, Johnson said. That's what's happening right now. But there I once again disagree. For this moment, for this crisis, yes, but not for all of the rest. Johnson was one of the key politicians behind the UK's exit from the EU, which took effect on January 1st in 2020 after decades of membership. According to the British government, the shelling of Ukrainian targets by Russian air and ground troops has decreased in the past 24 hours. And this was announced by the British Ministry of Defence on Saturday morning in its daily situation report, citing findings from military intelligence via Twitter. Overall, the number of Russian air and artillery strikes that could be observed in the past 24 hours was lower than in the previous days, the statement said. Ukraine still holds the important cities of Kharkiv, Chernihiv and Mariupol. There are reports of street fighting in Sumy in northeastern Ukraine. It's very likely that all four cities are surrounded by Russian forces, the report said. According to British information, Russian troops were also advancing on the southern Ukrainian city of Mykolaiv. However, it's possible that the city will be bypassed in order to concentrate on the advance towards the metropolis of Odessa. And unfortunately, a journalist was shot and injured in the attack on a British television crew near Kiev earlier last week. The journalist's team was on its way to the Ukrainian capital when fire was opened on his car. British television broadcaster Sky News reported that on Friday evening. Chief correspondent Stuart Ramsay was shot in the lower back. A cameraman was also hit by 2 bullets when he ran away. He was unharmed thanks to his bulletproof vest, and now we know why they are important. According to Sky News, a Russian sabotage group is suspected to be behind the attack. You know, the topic takes me with me. Bullets hit the whole cars, the windows, everything was completely destroyed. Ramsay described the incident in an article. The team is now back in Great Britain. The Ukrainian producer is with his family in the Ukraine. We were very lucky, explained Ramsay. But thousands of Ukrainians are dying and families are being attacked by Russian thugs just like us. British Prime Minister Johnson hailed the courage of journalists risking their lives to ensure the truth is told on Twitter. The free press will not be intimidated by barbaric and blind violence, he added. And I really have to say I'm quite worried about all journalists there, besides the people of the country, of course. But those journalists are risking their lives to go there and report the truth, something that is absolutely important. I can easily, like my colleagues, sit here in my warm studio in a safe country and talk about freedom of speech, freedom, democracy, and everything that goes by. But the journalists from all those TV stations, including a lot of German TV stations here, are risking their lives to do that. So for once in this video, I want to thank every journalist out there that's risking his or her life to bring us the truth. Thank you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.